There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall. Praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall.
Hey, party people, Sean, how you doing, man?
I am doing good. Thank you for asking, Darren. How are you doing today? You look
doing
bright.
Pretty okay.
You look nice and red and shiny.
Yes, we have had quite a bit of sun the past week, and I was out in the sun all day today at the lovely beach. Yes, bringing it down in SoCal. So welcome, party people, none of you that are joining in right now. I have no idea how many are joining in.
There's a couple in, but we weren't on last weekend.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment.
Yeah.
So if you're just tuning in for the first time, we've got two channels going on. We've got Sean's channel. Wait for it.
I got to switch over.
That's okay.
I did not do that, so my bad.
So we have two channels. Sean has one. I have one. This right here is Sean's channel, ShineLikeaProAZ, which, in case you're wondering, stands for Arizona. So he has my content reduced down into what you would call short form content, kind of the Cliff Note version of my long form videos on my channel, which, if we can go to the second channel, Sean, is my channel, which is Auto Fetish Detail. So you will be tuning in via, if I was in Britain, I would say via one of these channels. So welcome. So Sean, now that the little housekeeping, as they call it, is out of the way, why were we not on last week?
Well, I can tell you. Do you want to go first? Because we're both busy, so you can. Yes. How about you go first? You go first, and I'll tell.
Okay, I was at the beach, and I had a friend from a long time ago roll into town, and he and his family were staying at the beach, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I gotta leave this beautiful weather to go do a live stream. As much as I love to talk to everybody, the beach, the sun, my music, good company, it's just a big draw. So I thought, oh man, I wonder if Sean, meaning I could send him an email or actually a text and say, hey, dude, I might not make it, and just see what he says. And then lo and behold, you said, I don't remember exactly what you said, but you weren't going to make it either.
Yeah.
So should we welcome the men of culture?
Yes.
I like that, Mark. Let's see, I've been called a lot of things. I'm trying to think if culture's been one of them. I'm going to say no. And I welcome that. The complete lack of dedication is why. Well, no, I wouldn't say the complete lack, but maybe we can speculate on how much dedication. How about that? So I'll give you that, Mark. And thanks for the levity in the moment. Anyhow, so Sean, as I used to say, Mark, it was class has been canceled today due to lack of interest. So is there interest on my part? Yes, there is. Did it override my interest for the beach and the beautiful weather last weekend? Well, not really. So everyone's got their hierarchy, right? So Sean, tell us why you were AWOL, MIA last week.
I was MIA because I drove back from Iowa back to Arizona, and I got back here Saturday, like at 4:30 in the afternoon, which is Pacific time too, because we're now at the same time zone. And I did
you were
not.
Destroyed.
I was really tired. I left Friday at 8 in the morning, and I got there Saturday afternoon, and I was exhausted. I did not feel like talking to anyone. I didn't feel like I didn't care about. No offense to YouTube, I didn't want to deal with YouTube. I was just like, I actually ate dinner, took a shower. Wife was like, "Let's watch a movie." I'm like, "That sounds great. Let's watch a movie." I laid down and I passed out.
Do you care to share us what movie you tried to watch?
I don't know because I fell asleep. I have no clue.
I suspect she initiated the moment by, "Hey, let's watch a movie. I got this queued up." You maybe you're just in a blur. You're in a total driving comatose state and you don't remember, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, we're choosing a movie. That's what happened. So we're trying to pick the movie.
Choosing a movie. Okay.
Yeah, so we're choosing a movie, and I fell asleep for about like a couple of seconds. I woke up. It's like, oh crap, did I just fall asleep? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh okay.
Yeah.
And I talked for a little longer, and then she looked back at me, and I was snoring.
Yeah.
So exhausted. So.
Well, dude, that wasn't even because you told me a much more comprehensive story, and I wouldn't even call that a Cliff Note version because you went through just a horrid drive. Yes, Mark, Darren often comes to class. You know what, Mark? Actually, I'm completely the opposite. I am the guy that actually over prepares. It's just for this. Let me clarify that. Because I so prepare in pretty much every area of my life, this is one of those novelties in my life where I can actually roll in. I don't have to prepare. But with that said, to add a little dimension to it is, in many ways, you could say I've been preparing for the last 35 years of my professional business for this moment, right? Right? I think that I can make a compelling case for myself on that one. So I can bring my 35 years of experience to you guys. So I'm going to run with that. What say you, Sean? Does that sound like a compelling case in my behalf?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You said that with a lot of conviction, Sean. Thank you for that. So Birmingham Auto Pros, with that SoCal weather, I completely understand. Yes, and this weekend, well, at least so far, as in today, exact repeat, except it was a little bit warmer and a little less breezy. So it was just phenomenal. And we are in the middle of spring break. So the sand is filled with these young, dumb, full of
Come. That's from the movie Point Break, actually.
From what?
It's from the movie Point Break with Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze.
Oh, that's right. It is. Yeah. It's when Keanu shows up initially on duty, and that guy's getting in his face. That's right. Actually, I thought it was from Officer and a Gentleman, but yes, I stand corrected.
Yeah, it's young, dumb, and full of cum. Yeah, I remember that line. That's one of my favorite lines. Actually, I love the movie a lot. So,
anyhow, the sand is filled with just all these just high school / college kids, and yeah, I suppose it's entertaining for like the first 6.5 seconds. I mean, who doesn't like young flesh, right? Well, regardless of what gender you are or what bench you are. But so there's that. Not gonna lie, but even that gets a little annoying with all their just antics, where they're just so clueless, so oblivious, no self-awareness. So they'll be standing on the boardwalk in this herd and just taking up the whole space. You're like, oh my God, can you guys just take it elsewhere? Anyhow, but listen to me complain what I have to endure.
Hmm.
Hey, Brian, welcome. Glad you can make it. Hey, Mark.
Here's
Mark
Umberto.
saying hello. Umberto, dude. Como va? How'd I say that, Sean? Did that come out okay?
That's close enough.
All right. You say it.
Cómo va todo? ¿Cómo va?
Yeah.
I sounded Cuban there for a second.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to show you guys. I guess I can talk a little more about the Iowa trip unless you guys don't want to hear it. So I was trying to keep it short because I don't want to bore people. So
well, you could. I don't know. Your excursion was, and I would call it an excursion. One of many ways I would label it. What a hellacious like ordeal for you driving home. You got stuck. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with the, I don't know, these weird, strange, dramatic weather things we had going on. I don't remember what they called it in the news. I actually didn't tune into any of it. I just saw the headlines. So these big weather problems, systems going on in they called it this Midwest, South Midwest. I don't know what. So that was so what's the difference between the light blue and the dark blue lines? I suspect
this
the dark
one here,
blue is yours.
Well, yeah, dark blue is the route that I took.
Okay.
So originally, I'm going to zoom in. So, God damn it.
God damn it. Damn it. Damn it. I bet no one in this audience would recognize this moment from a movie from the 80s. Or maybe Umberto would.
Well, I'm sure Umberto will know. Todo va bien. ¿Cómo están ustedes? He's saying everything's going well. How are you guys doing? That's Umberto right there.
What does todo? What does todo mean?
Todo va bien. Everything is going well.
Oh, so todo is everything?
Yeah.
Nice. Todo va bien. ¿Cómo están ustedes?
Yeah. How are you guys doing?
Muy bien.
There you go.
Bien.
So, wait.
So your route.
Here we go.
Nos abandonó la semana pasada. Yeah. What does that mean?
It means, Darren, you abandoned us the last week.
Okay. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. So, anyway, so you can see my little mouse here, right? Little mouse.
I can, yes. Okay, I believe the audience can as well.
Yeah. So this is obviously Iowa. Actually, wait.
Wait for. Oh, you wanted me? That was my cue to answer. Sorry, you said wait. I thought you were dicking with the map some more.
No. There's a cue to read the comments. The comments are priority. My story is secondary.
It just got kicked to the curb.
That's okay.
So simple answer would be yes, Birmingham Auto Pros, but yet not because yes, I still have my Astrovan and I still love it and it still keeps on going. It's got 261,000 miles on it and I use it now just to get my bike to and from the beach. In fact, my bike just stays in there the whole time, so it's easy storage. What about you, Sean? Do you use for your business?
Well, I used to use when I had I don't do the auto detailing business anymore, but when I used to do it, I used to do it on my 2012 Hyundai Elantra. So we've talked about it before. Like when customers saw me driving that, they're like, "What?
What? Something doesn't make sense here."
Yeah, you can detail my car in that little thing, and then I said, "Just wait till when I'm done." And then when I'm done, they're like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Then they stop talking. So
say no more.
Yeah. Yeah. But
I love my Astrovan still. Like literally, I love it, and it's funny how many people still make comments about it. As old school as it is, guys will still come up and be like. In fact, I was at the beach on Friday. Now I'm just remembering that. That's funny. And these group of, as I was complaining about these young bucks, they come walking up from a distance, and I was kind of standing next to my van, but they would not necessarily know it was mine. And the guy's pulling out his camera, taking pictures of it. And I thought, oh, okay, I guess there's still something appealing about it.
I actually like your van. I've always liked that model. I was that was the best and last van model that Chevy made. Like the best looking one.
I concur.
There's one
Howdy
from Jimbo
ho,
Slice.
Jimbo Slice. Jimbo Slice is in the audience. What do we say? Jimbo Slice is in the house. The house, I think, is what I was looking for.
I did want to say really quick, it's kind of sounding kind of cheesy, but I do appreciate that everyone's here joining us, and they could be doing anything else they want to. They could be doing going to other live streams. So I appreciate everyone in our current live stream, with us. So
yeah,
thank you guys for joining us. Darren and I appreciate it.
Yes, I concur once again. Thank you, guys.
We got to, Darren. You and I, we have to start saying it more often now.
We have to start saying what?
Saying that more often.
Expressing our deep gratitude for our audience.
Yes.
So I just slipped it in again, Sean. Did you catch that?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Just now. Yeah.
So I slipped it in again. That's what she said.
Yes, that's what she said. Oh, and then I was going to say,
never did she say that.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
I could go in a few directions with that one. Because Astrovan was good. Because Mustangs are tough, real tough. Sorry, Sean.
No, you're good. You're good. What I was going to say to the audience is that Darren and I were thinking about doing in the same channels. Is okay. I'm going to just mention it. So we're thinking about doing another show, whatever you want to call it, where it's not auto detailing, where we talk about anything and everything. So this is auto detailing only. Well, not
kind of only.
Mainly auto detailing. Mainly auto detailing.
I get reprimanded every time I go off the.
Well, not reprimanded, but I want to do another one where we talk about anything we want.
Right. So anything goes, gentlemen. How would you like that? Like what interesting topics could we find ourselves on?
Let me go back here. So I skipped somebody.
They don't make those like they used to. No, not in my opinion. They don't. They really don't.
Here we go.
I have a new windshield and already has light scratch that causes some glare in the sun. Advice how to remove it. Well, I have polished glass. I have a video where I'm testing. I think it's turtle waxes.
You have another video where I edited it. Where you talk about an Amazon product.
Is it Amazon? Because it's a windshield glass scratch repair kit. And it uses a product called cerium oxide, I believe it is. And it's a polish that's designed for glass. I mean, think about it. Glass is really, really hard. And I've looked at that video of mine, and people still watch it.
Yeah.
And it's funny, people still make comments. So it seems to be, based on the feedback that I've gotten, is that when you're using that cerium oxide, use it at high speed on your drill motor. And for my video, the drill motor I was using isn't actually a high speed one. It's actually kind of low speed. It's actually, you can use it for, oh, wow. I recognize that surfboard in that garage, my customer's home. That is funny.
So there you go. That's my version. Your version is longer.
Yeah. So point is, Jimbo, is keep the slurry, because what happens is you develop a slurry with the product, and you don't necessarily have to keep adding new product, but you want to keep it wet so you can sit there and spritz it while you're buffing. But it really takes a lot of friction. I mean, there's guys that said that they use it and it was really heating up the windshield for it to really produce the results they wanted in a more efficient way, as in faster. So it definitely takes some time. And based on the drill motor you have, can be a big part of the equation, because you have to hold that pad. The pad that comes with that little kit is pretty small. So my drill was like this, and it's got this extension arm, and so it was a little awkward. Point is I'm pretty sure that's about the only product out there, that cerium oxide, that will have any impact on polishing glass.
And there's your video right there. It's right here, the very top one.
Oh, okay.
This is the one that I edited.
Yeah.
So yours is 21 minutes long, and mine is 7 minutes.
Oh, I'm surprised mine's not like 210 minutes long.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Mine is a Cliff Notes version, remember? So I do Cliff Notes. You do the long informative video.
Yeah. There we go.
So we got 3 questions here. Okay, there's Umberto.
That's what she said. Yeah. Yep. The scratch, not the windshield. LOL. Oh, okay. So the scratch itself, I guess. I think I watched that video. It's very helpful. Well, that's good. Yeah, I was actually impressed with that kit. I was really expecting it to just, I don't know, I guess fail miserably, honestly. I only have a DA. Well, you know what? I would still go for it because if you watch that video of mine, once again, like can you fast forward in that video, Sean? Just, I don't want
yours
you
or
to play
mine?
it. Mine.
Okay.
I don't want you to actually play it. I just want to see, just verify the drill motor I was using. Because if I remember correctly, this is before I got the Milwaukee cordless drill. And so this is a big, bulky, and it can even act as a, like a cement mixer. I don't know if that makes sense. It's when you see general contractors and they're mixing up their slurry or their cement or paint in a 5-gallon bucket, they'll use this type of drill motor. Yeah, see that?
Yeah.
It's big and bulky.
Yeah.
And the point I'm getting at, Jimbo Slice, is that it's not really high RPMs. I would say that might turn at like maybe 300 RPMs, which is actually pretty slow. So your DA, I think it would actually be okay. Not as good as a rotary, but I wouldn't dismiss it just because you only have a DA.
It's like you said, Darren. It will still work. It'll just take longer.
Perfect. Perfectly said.
Yeah, I watch a lot of your videos.
What he just said, Jimbo Slice.
Yeah.
Many roadies to get, even from Harbor Freight. Yeah. Oh, he's probably just saying there's many rotaries to pick and choose from, even the Harbor Freight. Yeah, actually, I own one of the Harbor Freight ones, and I mean, I can't say I have a bunch of hours behind it, but for the money, it's kind of hard to beat. You know, when you just factor in that overall ROI. I do need to get a cheap rotary. Yeah, I mean, maybe Harbor Freight will be the answer for you because I don't know if I've seen any others that are cheaper than that one. Are you looking at Harbor Freight? Yeah.
I'm just looking at rotaries. These are all.
Shoot, those are pretty cheap, man. Because my rotary, I mean, I've got 3 of them. I would say the cheapest one is probably $250, and that's probably my DeWalt.
These are like really cheap.
Yeah, they are.
Is it garbage stuff or what?
Well, once again, it kind of depends on who you ask. And as the default answer, you do get what you pay for, right?
Here you go.
But if you're using it just occasionally, I'm of the opinion you don't really need to overthink it. Wow, 196? That's cheap.
It's the one you have right there.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee and that's an updated version of what I have. Mine is well over 10 years old, and I guarantee I paid at least $250 for mine. Wow.
Look, it says the actual retail price is $319.
Yeah, which I would believe it. I'm just what I'm kind of wondering is because it says right there in red 39% off. It's like, is this a sign of the times? That's an 80s song, by the way. Are you familiar with that song, Sean? Because you love 80s. It's Sign of the Times by Bellstar.
I have to listen to it.
Wow, I can't believe I just pulled that out of my head. I'm impressed with myself just momentarily. Remember to replace the grease. Yeah, if you use it enough, but honestly, I've never replaced the grease in mine. I have a G8 and a G9 Griot's polishers, which are both good. So I would say go for it. I mean, why not? I know you need the rayon and wool pad, right? Well, I mean, yes, that will definitely help. And I would say because it's a pad that's very dense. It's certainly not like it's like felt. It's very thick and dense. And by thick, don't quote me on the thick, okay? Because thick suggests that it could be thick like this, but it's really not. What I mean is it's just really dense. It's not like a foam pad where you can really squish it. It's certainly not like a wool pad with individual fibers. So it is unique. Yes, it's definitely recommended. And if you didn't want to buy one, well, you're going to have to buy the cerium oxide anyways. So chances are it's going to come in a kit. So I would just get, and there's plenty of people that make, I think CarPro even has their own kit. Anyhow, same here. Besides the old Grio's Garage Workhorse CG6 and Porter Cable Rotary. You know what, Umberto, I actually never owned a Porter Cable, which is kind of a little bit ironic considering. And I know they existed when I first started my business, but I never even saw one because, once again, that was well before the days of the internet. Yeah, I think that's the original one, is what you said, right? Umberto. And that's funny. Like, it was years later, like literally years and years later, I was talking to this dude with a detail shop close to me, and he had one. And I told him, I said, I've never actually seen one of these in real life. And when I held it, it just seemed so archaic, just so old, not particularly ergonomically friendly or anything. Not like today's buffers, anyways. I thought that was a Prince song. Are you referring to
the song
Sign of the Times?
Yes, that's the one you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, I'm actually think I'm correct on this. If you could look it up, Sean, you just type in Sign of the Times and then Bell Star. In fact, I'm doing this to test myself, not you, Jimbo Slice. And Bell Stars is spelled differently. So tell me when you're at that, because I can't see. Oh, you're actually.
It is Prince. It is Prince.
Well, maybe he did an original version. Well, do this, Sign of the Times, and then now put Bell Stars, BELLE, LLE, and then stars.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah. So that's the one. But I don't know, maybe it's coincidental. It's two different songs, or maybe one's a cover.
Prince came out his song 87, so it's gotta be a cover.
Oh. When did this come out?
83.
Which one?
This one, the Bell Star, came out in 83.
Prince. Did you say Prince was 87?
Yeah, so it came out afterwards. So
yeah, so Bell Stars is the original.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so the first time today I was correct.
Yes.
I've never heard the Prince version now. I'm gonna have to look it up tonight on YouTube when I'm watching it. There's a lot of cerium polishes now. I think a lot of people use Ceraglass. Oh, actually, Ceraglass, I bought that. I do have that separately from my actual kit that I use the video on. And you know what? I actually tried that Ceraglass on the inside of my toilet bowl, which sounds kind of funny. But you get what's that called? The calcium ring on your toilet water. Yeah. If you have a toilet in the house that just isn't used frequently, it's easier for the hard water deposits to build up. And that ring just drives me apeshit.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to eliminate it, and I don't know. It really had minimal impact on that porcelain.
To get rid of that, you don't want to use an acid bowl cleaner.
I know.
That's what I do.
Yeah, it's just at this point I'm just going to replace the toilet. It is literally the almost the only single thing that remains in our house that was original equipment. So when we remodeled our home, I replaced everything, like including the wall sockets, or the wall plugs and the switches. I mean, I replaced everything, but that was the one toilet. The only reason we kept it is because all the new toilets are taller off the ground to kind of accommodate for basically America that's just getting fat and unhealthy. So you don't have to crouch down so low. But my wife's a shorty. She's 4'10". Yeah. And so she likes a low. That's the only reason we kept it. And that stupid line in there drives me apeshit.
Yeah, you should, anything janitorial, let me know. I can help you with that.
Yeah. Prince and now Harry Styles. Okay, why do I know that name, Harry Styles, but who is that? Is that I know I should know that name. Do you know that, Sean?
Yeah, he's a singer.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, my brain's mostly working tonight, but not enough to remember what that is. So if y'all no longer detail for income, let's talk about the transition and how you're making a living now. That is a good question. Well, Sean, the simple answer for Sean is he's trying to get a normal job. So
Yeah.
you're in the middle of you're in between employment, right, Sean?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually unemployed right now.
Yeah. Me, I have passive income, if you want to call it that, still through my websites, a little bit through my YouTube channel, which is pretty abysmal. And then investments, which I'm trying to not touch. And then savings, because I'm in the middle of divorce, which is always a good time. So my life in many ways is in limbo. And let me tell you, it sucks. It is no fun. So that's the simple answer, which you probably were looking for more specifics than that, but that's all I got for you in the moment.
We
And
can talk about the specifics on the other live stream we do where we talk about
yeah,
anything.
if and when that happens.
Yeah, it will happen soon. I got plenty of time right now. So
Okay.
here's Humberto.
Bellstar, yes, was the original. And by the way, that transition to go back to, was it Jimbo Slice? I think
Yeah.
asked, huh?
Yeah. Yes.
How you transitioning either way. I hate that word now. It's been so politicized.
Yeah.
And it's now tainted that every time I have to use the word transition, it's like my mind immediately goes to this whole political talk track, and it's just so annoying.
Yep.
But my point is that whether you're transitioning from a normal wage slave job into detailing full time is difficult.
Yeah.
And the reverse is also difficult when you're trying to transition out of it. So, in less simple terms, I've always had multiple irons in the fire. And what I mean by that is I was so diversified with my detailing business. So, for example, first it was cars, then suddenly I did my first boat. Then suddenly I found myself doing the first RV. And it's like, okay, I can make good money at this too. And honestly, I don't care what I clean. I enjoy cleaning and I enjoy making money. So it's very diverse. But then I, along the way, started doing emblem removal kind of accidentally. Had a customer that asked us, and I say us because I had employees at the time, asked us if we could remove the emblems, or we actually, what we called it, and this is in the early 90s, we called it dechroming. Can you dechrome my Suburban? It's like, yeah, I told him, I said, I've never done it, but I guarantee I could figure it out.
Yeah.
And so we figured it out and we did it. And then fast forward the clock to the age of the internet. And I thought, wait a minute, now that I know how to do SEO, which is search engine optimization, and I know how to research keyword terms that people use to find information. So I optimized my site for car badge removal, car badge replacement, emblem removal. And so I literally still do that to this day. So that actually further answers your question. So, for example, I have an appointment tomorrow. The guy has a brand new Toyota truck, and it's got the decals on the back. Do you happen to know, Sean? It's it's the Tacoma, and it's like some special version of a 4x4.
The TRD Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's got the TRD, and I think it says 4x4 decals on the back of the bed. And this guy wants that removed. And so, and I make really good money doing that. And it's short little jobs. And because I do it at my home, like I don't even do it mobilely anymore. I make people come to me. So that's also another source of income. But so my point is I was very diverse. So when I was time to unwind, I just slowly stopped doing certain things, and it happened in phases. So probably the first phase is that I eliminated all my customers that were more than 20 miles away from me. And then it became 10 miles away from me. And then it became 5 miles away from me. And then I just focused on, the areas that were most profitable, like the emblem removal and replacement. Anyhow, all right. So Griot's has fine glass polish too. It sure looks like it has cerium oxide in it. I just want something abrasive enough to knock down the scratches. Well, I don't know of another polish that works other than cerium oxide. I don't have tons of experience in that area, but I do know it does work. It just is not anything like polishing paint because it takes a lot of time and effort to do it.
Umberto has an answer here.
Okay. Only one I've used is CarPro's Sarah Glass, and Jason Otterness showed one this week on his car supplies warehouse video. Well, there you go.
There's your answer.
Humberto is the man. He is this resource. 3D has one too. Right on. Dang, in the middle of a divorce now? Yep, right in the middle. You know what? I hope it's not the middle. I hope I've actually apexed and now I'm on the backside. But honestly, with divorce, who the hell knows? TRD, yep. Toyota Racing Development. Well, that's totally understandable. Love how you guys have diversified your income and pushed through. Thanks.
And then
Yeah.
also, I was going to say, so I'm not 100% employed. I do have a cleaning business. So I just,
yes.
yes, I do have that. It's still functioning. I've had it for like 4 years now. But I like to, like, Darren told me this a long time ago. He said, never put all your eggs in one basket. So I always like to have multiple incomes like Darren. So, and that's why I always like to have a job and have this thing on the side.
Yeah. And that's just to kind of clarify that statement, because if you're a big Warren Buffett fan, he's got a rebuttal to that, which he says, because that's kind of the default in the investing world, like, oh, diversify, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Warren Buffett kind of takes a different bent on that, where he says what you need to do is become an expert in one area, and therefore you can dominate that area.
Right.
So it is a balance act. I've just pushed it in the extreme the other way, which I just tried to juggle too many things, and it can be a bit overwhelming. And it's kind of like the what's that little cliched saying? Something good at everything but master of none. It rhymes. I just can't remember what it says. I guarantee someone in the audience will know. Good at everything but master of none. So I definitely mastered detailing. I definitely mastered boats and RVs. And yes, that did not happen overnight. And now I would say I've definitely mastered the emblem removal and replacement. But when you're, I would just say take it at a manageable pace. How about that? Worsification, he calls it. Diversificate. Yes. Okay. So we have another Warren Buffett fan in the audience. Worsification. Worsification.
I think didn't he retire?
Well, it kind of depends on your interpretation of retiring. I mean, the guy.
I think he made an announcement saying that he's not going to be on anymore. I think that's what he said. I wasn't sure.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really follow him. But I am a fan of him and his Charlie Munger, who passed away. They're just very savvy businessmen and investors and just wise men in general. But they were like total anti-Bitcoiners, and I am a Bitcoin maximalist, so there's that. Diversification. Yeah. Kind of like Californication.
Yeah.
Yes.
California. The other term for California is dumpster fire.
Yeah. Shit show.
Yeah. Well, again, the state is amazing. The policy.
Well, the natural beauty of the state and the natural resources of it, but yeah, it's the political machine that controls the state that's just a shit show.
Yeah, agreed.
Wow. That's a lot of maintenance washes, dude, but my family relies on me, so just trying to push through. Well, you know what, dude? I mean, obviously you got to do what you got to do, and we all love having a healthy income stream every month. But honestly, at this age, I mean, I can totally empathize that, where you will. Let me use a saying. A candle that burns twice as bright is going to burn out twice as fast, if not faster. And so, like most everything else in life, it's a tough balance act. And I have been redlining my life since I was probably the age of 14. And I could even argue prior to that because of my unique upbringing. And, so when you've got the pedal floored, you've got it buried, and you're just redlining the engine year after year after year after year, and you just find a way to take on more and more, eventually it does catch up to you. So I don't know. I feel your pain, man. It's tough. So maybe you could, I guess, honestly, if someone were coming to me and asking for advice on that, I would say reduce your overhead as much as possible so you have options, so that now you suddenly can realize, hey, I don't need to bring in 15,000 a month to make it. I can actually make it on 4,000 a month, and you pull that pressure off of yourself, because you only get one life, and time is the ultimate commodity.
Also, you only have one body. Eventually, when that wears out, you're screwed.
It is. Yes, well put. So these are things that, unfortunately, this is kind of wisdom that you have to generally learn the hard way, because who among us did not hear this growing up from people my age? We're like, oh, that's just what old people say. That's just what old people say that couldn't make it in life, and that's how they rationalize their sorry life now. It's like, no, that's it's really a wise piece of advice, and I'm not blowing sunshine on my own butt. I'm just saying is that, unfortunately, there's just a lot of things in life we have to learn the hard way, even though we don't have to actually learn the hard way. It's just that because of, being young and dumb and just thinking you're immortal, you tend to not listen. How about that? But it is a ton of work. Dude, I still am perplexed. No one gets it until they get it. As in, no one gets how much work detailing is until they do it. And I'm not saying there's not other jobs out there that are as hard, because I've done a lot of jobs, from like crawling up in attics and dicking with insulation and ducting, and it's 120 degrees up there or hotter, and you're just profusely sweating. You're just dripping, and there's no air circulation up there. And you're like, oh my God, it's like a furnace up here. Somebody shoot me. And that wears you out. I've done roofing before, where you're up on top of a roof, and maybe you're on one of the pitches where there's no wind current, and you're baking in the sun, and you're working with asphalt shingles, and you're like, oh my God, somebody shoot me here. To being in cold, like I've worked in a freezer at a big warehouse for a grocery chain, and that was miserable too, just in different ways. So there's plenty of jobs that are really hard on the body, but detailing, it's weird, because I guess the part that confuses me, and maybe you can empathize with this, Sean, is that you got a car that you can see. You're like, okay, it's a car, small car, big car, truck, whatever. But you think like, dude, how hard can it be? You're just working around it. You're working, it's like, really, it's not like you're running. It's not like you're carrying stuff. But man, you're just contorting your body in so many different ways, and you're crouching down, standing up, climbing up a little step ladder, perhaps. You're just constantly moving. And what I found with myself, and this is part of my personality, is that I'm just, as a rule, going to be working twice as fast as anyone else. So when I see detailers when I'm out and about, like literally in my neighborhood, I've seen now probably 5 different detailers show up in our neighborhood to service cars, my neighbors' cars. And I watch them work for a little while, and it's like, oh my God, I would never get anything done if I worked that slowly. So that was kind of me being my worst enemy in many ways.
Well, I have something to share really quick before we get to the comments are filling out. But when I moved yesterday. I moved from in the same complex. I moved from one apartment to a bigger apartment, a bigger place, and we had 2 movers, and we hired. We used a company. They're a broker company, and the guy we got in, he seemed to know what he was doing. And I was like, "Hey, how long you been doing this?" He's like, 10 years. I'm like, "Why don't you start your own company?" He's like, "I actually been thinking about it. I don't even know how to do it." And then I started telling him how to do it, and I didn't talk that much. I was getting pure basics. I lost him, and he lost interest. It just
Why do you think he lost interest?
Well, I think
because he realized it was just too much work, and now he just wants to be a follower.
Yeah, I think he, because most people don't have the mindset to start their own company. or they think they do, but once they get into it, they're like, oh man, screw this, it's too much work.
Yeah.
But they don't understand that starting a business is very difficult and very challenging, and everyone thinks it's easy. It's like, oh, I could be a business owner. I'm like, okay, go do it. And then once they do it, they're like, oh, never mind, it's too hard.
Yeah.
Well, then, you know what I mean? So yeah, I just want to share that.
In fact, I've got a similar story. Before I started my detailing business, I had two of my best buddies that said, dude, we should do that together. I said, okay, let's do it. So there was going to be three of us. So when it came down to, and this is when I bought, it was called Tropic Shield. It was like this pseudo franchise. And it was going to, I think it was cost $1,700 at the time. And I said, okay, yeah, let's do it. So one of my friends actually put money into it to start it. The other one completely tapped out when it came down to it. He said, no, I've changed my mind. It's like, wow, really? And so then it was just me and this other guy. And so I went to the training and paid the rest of the balance myself. And then the second guy backed out. It's like, dude, like, yeah, like you left me hanging here. And so it really isn't. And we've talked about this briefly before, Sean.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion, if someone were to say, oh, I'm thinking of starting my own business, what do you think? Should I? And I'd say, like, well, if you're going to ask it like that, then I'm going to say, no, you shouldn't. Because my opinion is that you absolutely have to want to start your business yourself, as in that's your only choice. Now, can you help me start it, Darren? Versus should I start it? I don't know if I'm making that clear, but
well, not just
such
that.
a difference.
It's 2025. Like it's not like there's a freaking internet. There's AI. I mean, you can. That's how I did it on my own. I just Google it, how to do it, and you do research.
Yes, but I'm addressing a different component of it, which is, for one, I believe it's easier now than ever to start a business because of technology.
Yeah.
And its many iterations. But the point is there's still a lot to starting it and growing it and marketing it and being successful with it. So I'm of the opinion, if you don't have a passion just out of the gate, like, oh, I got to start my own business. It's like, you know what? Just go work for the man. Just find a job you enjoy. Like that's literally what my son did. And dude, I'm telling you, he has got probably one of the best jobs in the world. I was just talking to him about it this morning. He's a CPA, and he works for a big accounting firm, and they do auditing. So check this out. They're having their first kid, which means my first grandchild. He gets, as the husband, he gets 10 weeks off for paternity leave. In addition to all the time off that he gets normally. And I asked him, I said, dude, how much time off do you, and he's only been with the company maybe 4 years tops. He goes, well, basically I can take as much time off as I want. I just have to meet my deadlines. I'm going, oh my God, like working for the man, dude. I said, I think you're one of those rare people that I say, I think you have perhaps the best job in the world because he makes good money.
Yeah.
And it's like he gets to live his life. And I said, dude, at my age, I cannot put a price on how much it's worth to just be able to live your life, enjoy your family, raise your kids. I mean, he makes a good living already. He's not killing it, but he makes a good living. And it's like, man, dude. And he goes, trust me, Dad, I really appreciate it. As in, he feels very fortunate. Point is,
we got to play catch up. We got to play
the business is not for everyone.
Lots of comments.
All right. So are you going to next it?
No,
we already addressed this. That's how we got onto this rant of mine.
Okay.
Is how hard it is. Jack, oh, there we go. Yes, it is. Thank you. I knew Umberto would know, though oftentimes better than master of one. Oftentimes. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Umberto, thanks once again. Redlining, I totally relate to that. That has been my reality too long. Yeah. I think it's a personality trait, man. And yes, I am meaning I believe my body is a gift and that I am a steward over this gift. And so I treat it accordingly. That's how I view it. And now you can see women saying they can do all a man. Yeah. That's why women didn't build the world. Yeah. Men built this world and everything women use. So Good luck with that, women.
That is true.
Did 2 cars and an RV today, so tired would be an understatement. Yeah, dude, it's just a lot of work. Oh my gosh. And then, like, once again, my personality, I mean, you could maybe label it as OCD. I would kind of argue that because I'm fully aware of what I'm doing. But there is a certain compulsory component to it. Anyhow, but yeah, I'm my worst enemy in that regard because I would do stuff that I guarantee my customers weren't even aware of. And I'm thinking to myself, well, why am I doing it if I know they're not even going to be aware of it? And that's where it's my own personal satisfaction and my own standards came in. And I knew I could have done less, but I wasn't happy doing less. Then reality hits them. Yep. Women hitting the wall, which is a different kind of topic in ways. My dad had a remodel business and that was awful when I was worked with him. So detailing deemed better, probably seemed better. Yeah. Maybe I bet you look back on that and think like, you know what, maybe that wasn't actually as much work as I thought, because with remodeling, you're going to have some days that are really horrid. And then you're going to have a lot of days that are just not that bad. But with detailing, yes, there's a little bit of fluctuation, but as a rule, detailing is hard work every single car you do, every RV, every boat. It's just going to be hard work. This is why I'm trying headlight restoration as a side gig. I can do full-time job. I don't care if I get 1 month. It's fast and easy. I agree. And I know we talked about that.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you've got it in you and you know how to market it, you know how to, market it would come to like search engine results. I would say go for it. And if you set yourself up with the right tools, man, you really can blaze through headlights really quickly. Because I've done most of my headlight restoration just kind of the old school way of where I'd sand it by hand with some wet sanding paper and then buff it. I would use a buffer, but it's still, if I had the pneumatic tools with a little grinder, to sand it and then polish it. And honestly, you don't actually have to polish it. I would make sure I had the right clear coat because you can sand it like 800 grit, remove all the dead material off of it and just spray it with clear coat and you're done. It's amazing. That one little trick. Bending, twisting, reaching over time can get you, yes, all of the above and then some, Brian. I pay my bedroom and greatly underestimate the work that goes in. A lot of respect. I've done so much painting, and I'll tell you why. Before I was into detailing, this is when I was 17 and 18, I worked for a property management company. So they owned a bunch of real estate, but they also manage other real estate properties, specifically apartment complexes. So I was the go-to handyman guy where I literally fixed everything, repainted when someone moved out. So I've done a ton of painting, and yes, details matter. And painting is tough because there's so much prep work that goes into it before you can finally lay the paint. And if you don't have the patience for it, you're going to be a shitty painter. You got to have patience. Also, you can go to the Small Business Center and I learn about different types of jobs and own businesses, how to manage them, etc. Yes. Or you can just check in with AI
Yeah.
at your fingertips.
Yep.
The professional kit that uses the G8, which I already own, and some 3-inch sanding discs, then yeah, maybe run with that. I mean, shoot, if nothing else, you'll learn a little something. G Cleared by Glassweld. I haven't heard that name forever. Glassweld, they're a pretty big brand. At least they were.
I have it on the screen.
Okay. Yeah, Glassweld was a big brand. In fact, they sent me for free their whole windshield kit, and it was really comprehensive and very professional. And I busted into that thing exactly 0 times. I was just too busy. That's when I was with Tom, and I just had so many irons in the fire trying to, recover things, one way to put it.
Yeah.
I painted homes inside out besides sealing the roof, pressure washing, and although tired when I did it, I always tried not thinking about it and get it done. Yeah, you cannot think about it till you're driving home and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm wrecked. But don't underestimate the satisfaction, at least for me, when I drove away knowing that, yes, I in fact nailed the details and I was confident in my workmanship. And there was a lot of, at least once again for me, personal satisfaction that I took in that every time I drove home at the end of the night. It was hard. Sanding before, washing, I did the closet, ceiling, primer, caulks, spackled. Man, it was a lot of work. Yeah, painting is a lot of work.
I've done painting. It sucks.
It really, that's another job that I think the world would underestimate is how much work goes into painting and doing a good job.
Yep.
It really is. Yeah, that is one of those jobs that is really way more work than I think most people appreciate.
Here you go, Darren. All for you.
Um,
And Josh.
You know, I think Josh has been here before, and I'm only
Yeah.
saying that because somehow that horse and cowboy kind of seem familiar, but I don't know. Anyhow, Tom's new System 1, well, in simple terms, it's not new at all. System 1 is what Tom actually started with over 30 years ago. That was the unique value proposition, and that's why partially it was named System 1, which is you only need one product, as in a polish, to do the heavy defect removal and finish to a swirl-free finish. Up until that time, everyone was still pushing. You got to compound first and then polish. So System 1, that name is based off of that concept.
Actually,
So that's
weren't people pushing the 3 steps or 3?
well, they've been pushing more steps.
Okay.
The point is in simple terms, it's going to be either one compound or a series of compounds, and then one polish or a series of polish.
Yeah.
So it really, there's no limit to it. You know, there's plenty of companies that would happily sell you 5 compounds and 7 polishes.
Yeah, which actually McGuire's have done that before. They try to sell you like 6 or 7 too.
They're all just, it's just ways to separate you from more of your money.
Of course, marketing. Any more question, guys? Is that it? Darren just zoomed through all the comments.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So, seeing how that's a natural, I don't know, place, do you want to call it quits unless someone throws us a
Unless
question?
Nobody has any more questions, we're going to end it. So you guys, if you have any questions, this is your time. If not, we're going to end it. Actually, we have to give it a couple minutes because when we talk, it takes a couple minutes for them to get it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
There's a delay, in other words?
Yeah, but it's done on purpose. So that way we can catch up.
Someone throws down an F-bomb or something politically incorrect.
Or that, or that way you can catch up to the questions, and I don't know. But I noticed that on when I watch the videos.
Wow. Sorry for the yawn, people.
It's okay.
Do you, I suppose you don't know how much the delay is?
I think it's like a minute.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's funny when one, I don't know how to interpret that. When one, what's hads? Funny when one, what? I don't know, Umberto. I don't know what that means. Any idea?
Umberto, you need to clarify.
Yeah. Funny when one wants what they used to have, or funny when one, where do you stand on the,
There we go.
To me, they're just, Jimbo, to me, they're just two different animals.
Oh, there we go. We just got bombarded with questions, but go on.
The foam cannon, they're just trade-offs like anything else. So to me, that's like an apples and oranges comparison. They serve different purposes. Like I would choose one for different reasons than the rinseless.
Well, I mean,
I guess he's not actually saying it's a direct comparison. He's just asking in general.
Yeah.
I believe they both serve their place. It's really going to be based on, honestly, I would say in simple terms, it's really based on 2 fundamental things. Who is your customer and how much you're charging?
Yeah.
And I would add a third, which is what is your end goal? So is it part of a maintenance moment where you're doing a maintenance wash or maintenance detailing, who your customer is, and how much they're paying. So for example, if you're doing a one-time detail, as in this is the first time you've ever dealt with this customer, they just need their car detailed. Am I going to bust out a foam cannon? No, I'm not. To me, that would be a waste of time. Unless you had a customer that you knew was going to like be critical and watch every step you make, and you have enough money into it to justify the extra time of doing a nice wash job like that. So when it's a one-time detail, all I'm interested in is getting that dirt off as quickly as possible and as easily as possible, because that's where the real work is going to come in. That's where my expertise is going to come in. You know, the decontamination process, polishing the paint if I'm going to do that, sealing the paint. So that dirt, that's just a nuisance in my world. So I'm not going to spend any extra time or any extra effort to get it off, which means that's probably going to be a waterless or a rinseless moment for me as far as the actual car itself. Now, the wheels and tires are a different scenario because those are dirtier, and often you do need more of that volume of water to get those clean.
Yeah, which when I did it, I used either a pump spray or a hose and a bucket with soap,
Yeah.
or soap, and it did the job. So
it really depends on the context of the moment. When one watches the new detailers or the posing detailers with beauty brushes cleaning door panels, yeah, it's a huge pet peeve of mine, Umberto. It's just performance detailing. I mean, truly, as you say, poser detailers, posing detailers. Yeah, it's performance detailing. It's all about the show. Because any detailer with experience is going to look at that and say like, "Oh my God, dude, that is so inefficient. It's going to take you forever to clean that door panel, and you're not even going to be able to produce the results you want with that overly soft brush, especially if you're cleaning a door panel that is actually dirty." Would you ever have a reason or use or reason to dilute Q7, anything at all? Yes, would be the simple answer. You probably know the answer to this one, Sean. Do you
yep,
remember?
yeah, for Q7 wax.
Yeah, he's not
Or
really specific because, well, the Q7, that was the only thing labeled, because I was suddenly thinking, wait, is it also called a Q7 detailer? But it
oh yeah,
wasn't.
yeah. Well, I don't remember. Like I just know that the Q7
Q7
wax
wax.
is
Yes,
where we dilute it to do a rinseless wash.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yes, and it's cool because it is waterborne technology is kind of the technical term. So you can cut it down with water, and Sean and I would basically cut it down and make our own quick detailer version out of it, or a waterless wash out of it. So
I don't know if that's
yes.
down here. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. You're right. There in a detailer, Q7 detailer.
Okay. Oh
So, but
wow.
you can also use a Q7 detailer to do the same thing. I think you and I experimented with that too,
Yeah.
and it worked.
I think my logic was that if I'm going to go through the trouble, why not have some wax in the equation? Even though
Yeah.
it's a trivial amount, why not? That was my logic. Seems very polarizing. Yes, although I'm not sure. Were we talking about the waterless washing and the
Yeah. 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 And Josh is talking about it now, saying he's asking about the detailer and the wax.
both? All of Tom's products are waterborne technology, which means, like for example, the polishes, you can literally wash it away with water. The wax, you can cut it down with water if you want. Detailer, same thing.
Distilled water.
Well, I mean, I just use distilled
I know.
water
I,
because
yeah.
it's as pure of water as you're
Yeah.
going to ever get,
Yeah.
but it's not a requirement.
I know, but it makes the job easier.
It really, yes, it is a better formulation. Do you have a favorite windshield sealant? I think I'm going to try Ultra Glaco next. I would say go with that. Not because I'm speaking from experience. I'm just saying, like, if you've already got your eye on something, just test it yourself. I mean, that way you'll know firsthand if it performs according to your standards.
Yeah,
So I'd say go with it.
it's the same thing I have for restaurants. Wife and I, we like to try new restaurants, and if it sucks, we don't go back.
Yeah, but now you know.
Yeah.
With rinseless, you can do the interiors besides the exterior of a vehicle, but you must choose the battle. For instance, no foam or classic cars because of old seals. Yeah, valid point. And so in simple terms, it's context dependent, which means is what kind of car you're working on, what age is it, what condition is it, what's your end goal? Is it a maintenance wash? It is a one-time detail? Is it a show car that really never gets driven on the roads? Who's your customer? How critical is their eye? Are they going to be watching you? How much are you charging? So those are all the elements that go into the context, which is a lot, but that's what you've got to factor in. And if you're not factoring everything in, you're probably going to end up shooting yourself in the foot somewhere along the way, because you're going to underbid it, or you're going to have a customer that's less than satisfied, perhaps. See, I did rinseless for maintenance washing. I had a huge aversion to normal washing. I did not, as a rule, did not do normal washing, only when I was forced to. Like if I showed up to a car that was just disgustingly dirty on the outside. But see, the way I operated my business was unique because I actually trained my customers, or I learned how to talk to new customers in a way that they would get their car washed first before I even showed up for that detail appointment. So I did everything I could to avoid washing a car in a normal way. So I'm a big fan of the rinseless, especially on my maintenance cars where I'm seeing them once a week, once every 2 weeks, or once a month, and I'm detailing them every time. So I definitely leaned hard into the rinseless or waterless products, whatever you want to call them. And Umbroto, apparently he has some experience with it, Jimbo. So there you go. You got 2 thumbs up on that, just for different reasons. In betweener. Yes, although I don't remember what we're referring
That's okay.
You guys are really filling in the blanks. Good. We're filling in the blanks because your fingers can't keep up with your thoughts as you're trying to type them to us.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, right, Josh?
Yeah.
Yes, I know the struggle is real and significant. Trust me. Rinses on maintenance is way better and faster than setting up foam. I concur 100%, Umberto. Also, not HOA allowing foaming at parking lots where your customer has the vehicle parked at. Yep, there's another code regulations, city regulations.
Well, yeah, it depends where you live or what city and state.
Yeah, which is part of the context.
Yeah.
You know, if you have to worry about water runoff or runoff of any kind, rinseless is going to solve that problem.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the idea of hitting it with a pump sprayer, wiping it down, and calling it day. Bingo.
Yep, that's what
That
actually
is exactly
when I did the detailing, it was 90% rinseless or wireless, like you said, Darren, and then 10%, like if the car was covered in mud, I would not use rinseless. So
right.
But yeah, we can call it quit. Actually, wait a second. Okay, we got one more. I'll do one more.
All right, we'll take one more. Going once, going twice, and sold to Jimbo Slice. Has anyone tried the AVA Go 45 pressure washer? It's sold on Amazon right now. I can't say I have. There's so many options now with these electric pressure washers. I've got a little tiny one that just really kicks ass, and now I can't remember. Oh, it's a Ryobi or a Ryobi.
Oh,
Depends
yeah,
on who you ask. It's small, but it does 1,500, or actually I think it might be 1,700 psi, and it's just so convenient. It's just so small and compact, but it blasts just as powerfully as any other of those, little electric pressure washers.
Wait, Darren, one last one. Last one.
Okay, last one, or whatever.
Yeah.
Serrano sauce, 20-to-1 cleaner to water and Dawn. I don't know. I haven't tried it personally, so can't really comment, Josh. I'm sure it works fine, honestly. I mean, honestly, I can get any product to work. It really comes down to 2 things past that. How efficient is the product, and how effective is it at producing the desired results? That's where everything that's where a product's going to reveal itself. It's like, oh yeah, I can get this product to work, if I can pretty much get anything to work, if I, use it long enough or strategically enough, but it's like, I don't want to have to do that. So that's where it comes into finding those right products that perform according to your standards. All right, party people, we'll end there. Thank you guys for tuning in. So there's number thrice, maybe.
Yeah, what I was
Once,
gonna
twice,
say,
thrice.
what I was gonna say really quick is, you guys don't forget to like the live stream, and make sure you guys check out both my channel again, ShineLikeaProAZ, and obviously Darren's. And if you guys have time, if you guys can go to both channels, I'm gonna start saying this at the end, Darren.
Okay.
You guys can go to both channels on the live stream and like both channels. Really will help both of us a lot. Because the more you got, so if you help both channels out, then it spreads the word, and then more people will be able to find our live stream, and then more people will be able to get the knowledge from our videos.
Which ultimately helps you guys because you've got more input, and they may come up with questions that you didn't think to ask. And you're like, oh yeah, I never thought about that. So it's just different perspectives.
Yeah. So
all right.
we'll be on next Saturday, right there.
Same bat channel, same bat time. And Sean, thank you for your technical work on your end. And thanks for tuning in, you guys, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, because I know I will.